Arizona State.
Rod.
I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Two play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Poole, touchdown. Quick flag.
Third down and 5. Bennett swings it to Scatterbo. Scatterbo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another Scatterbo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025. Today. Just one the other way. Still going back. Got the drag. Locks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Derby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
You gotta put it on.
Graham, thank you. First of all, sorry about the pump fake on the first one. I should do much better on this one. So anyhow, actually it's kind of good because I know a lot more about the program now. Had 5 weeks here. Yeah, and I can tell you things have happened and what we've gotten done recently. But first of all, there's two guys I gotta give special thanks to. Right over here. These are the only two guys I talked to before I took this job. And I just wanted to make sure that we were aligned on our philosophy on leadership and how you run a program. And it's a different time in college sports, but it doesn't mean you can't do it the right way. And I think these two guys are 100% there. President Crow, it's unbelievable what you've done with this university. Unbelievable. This place, I was here immediately and I felt the power of this institution. And you created that and yeah, especially built the school up. Obviously I was here in went to high school in '80. And so I know what it was like then. But how much you have grown it is unbelievable. I mean, the whole community, Tempe, academically, is just really impressive. So congratulations on what you've done. The guy next to him, Graham, our athletic director, the guy's unbelievable impressive. He's gifted. Very good speaker, but he gets it. Same kind of thing. When I got here, I was just impressed with the culture of the athletic department. The coaches cared about each other. They cared about other teams. And have a group text about how they do each team does every weekend. They congratulate each other. The student athletes are very personable, very friendly, and that stuff doesn't just happen. I've been at other schools. You have to work at it, but Graham, I see it the way Graham sees it. Like, you have to find kids. You can find them, but I think you got to lead them, and that's find kids that want to be part of something bigger than themselves. They're still out there, but how you recruit them, who you recruit, all that stuff's a factor. So, Graham, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Real quick, I want to introduce my dad, Tom Bennett. Long-time coach here, and my new volunteer assistant. So, his wife Sylvia, my wife Darlene Bennett, who is, I don't know where Sparky is, but Sparky won her over in a day. She's so excited about her favorite mascot in the world. So anyhow, she's excited to be here and trying to find a house. Glad to have her with me. Uncle Bill, right there. Good to see Uncle Bill. About half my high school team over there. Thanks for coming. I didn't know you'd come. And my other family members, my son Chase Bennett, who's gonna be on our staff, is probably director of basketball ops. We're trying to sort through all that stuff. So, yeah, great to have him. He just finished college playing. Great to have him with us. So, now I want to introduce our staff. I'll try and get through this quickly. First of all, they carried me for the first 2 weeks of this job. And Rick and David and Joe were here right away. And we didn't have a team, so it was interesting. We had to go build a team, which these guys have done. And actually, I didn't come into the office till the day before the portal opened, which in sports now, that's a wild day. So they had it all set up, and I think the biggest thing in coaching, I tell people this, I've only done it twice, but is the most important thing, everybody thinks it's players. It's not players. The most important thing is your staff, the people you surround yourself with. Your staff will get you good players, and they'll lead those guys to be right and to get better. And eventually for those guys to become leaders. So anyhow, I don't think I could have got a better staff. These guys are incredible and talented. They weren't cheap, but they're well worth it. And so I'm just gonna go in order, no particular order. I have 3 associate head coaches. First one's Rick Croy. Rick's a fantastic leader. Fantastic coach. I worked with him at St. Mary's for 3 years, and what did he do? We went conference champ, conference and tournament champ, and conference champ, I think. He came from Cal Baptist, got his team in the NCAA tournament this year, which is incredible. First time Cal Baptist has gone to the NCAA tournament. He took it from Division II to Division I. Most guys get fired by then, but he didn't. And then he got him in the NCAA tournament this year. And then he's crazy enough that he said, I want to be part of this thing and play in the big fight, Power 4, Arizona State, Big 12. So anyhow, Rick Croy. Next guy is probably, in my opinion, best recruiter in college basketball. We worked together 3 years. What'd you get, Sweet 16? Left me after Sweet 16. Big money came in and took off. But anyhow, he's been 2-time Division I head coach at Riverside, Sac State. trying to get him a better job this next time as a head coach. Anyhow, he's been at all the big schools won him. He just came from LSU. He's really gifted with kids, really good leader, and like I say, he's a heck of a recruiter. I'm pumped to have you, David Patrick.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Welcome into Thirsty Thursdays edition, as we are rocking it here. As you saw right there, new Sun Devil men's head basketball coach Randy Bennett joining us, or his opening presser, and like he said right there, I want to play a little bit of that. Of him being introduced. You saw the jersey. His dad, Tom Bennett, obviously I talked about him before, but nonetheless, his introductory press conference today, staff there, Dr. Crow, Graham Rossini, Doug Tamaro, and Kyle Dodd, who will join us tomorrow. Kyle Dodd will join us tomorrow to break more of this down, but they had their little comedy going, which again, they can, they've been at it for a little bit. But yes, that is Randy Bennett. But I am Michael Caratanudo at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You can check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. You can also, I know I've never told you this before, right? You can also go to the wonderful world of IG. You go to Michael.Caratanudo. Well, oh, I bet you it would help if I did that. Yeah, there you go. So, yes. At Diablo005_ on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter, and then the IG at Michael.Caratanudo.5. So yes, just add a dot between first and last name, and then a .5, and you are good to go. And last but not least, you guys know it, the YouTube channel, my friends. Go to the YouTube channel, my friends, as you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews. And if you are watching this on YouTube and you subscribe, forks up, greatly appreciate it. But we caught up with one of Coach Bennett's assistants and former players, guys coming back, obviously had coming back to work with their college coach. Somebody, always a good thing, but had a very successful European career, was at St. Mary's, played for Coach Bennett at St. Mary's, and did a hell of a job. EJ Rowland. We got a one-on-one with him here on Pitchfork Lunch. So that's coming up in about five minutes. So yeah, but that is Coach Bennett introducing his staff. Again, a lot of boosters out there today, alum boosters, his old high school teammates, his dad, Tom Bennett, who, like I guys told you, won a ton of games at Mesa Community College, coached high school, coached junior college, and got a lot done, my friends, because Tom Bennett, again, a phenomenal coach. And it's been a few years since I talked. I didn't get to really say anything to him today. Obviously, he was at his son's presser, but I look forward to being around the program, and we'll hear a little bit more from Coach Bennett, as again, a lot of people spoke today, but again, absolutely awesome. So a little bit of that, but go to YouTube, guys, and like I said, watch live, but do subscribe, because you have missed, yes, a plethora of phenomenal con reviews as whether it's coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum or insiders, analysts, alum from many different generation, all here on Pitchfork Lunch. You can go back and watch it for the Pitchfork Lunch that have been here. Forks up. The newer YouTube subscribers, again, forks up. Greatly appreciate it. And also, disappearing now. Also, the veteran Pitchfork Lunch, don't even say to you newbies, again, I am so glad you're here, stoked you're here, but shame on you. Where have you been? Because when I say you have a lot to catch up on, well, that's why you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because you can binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3. That's what we're in now. Binge watch season 2, and yes, keep watching season 3, right? And then when we get to season 4 in the fall, which again, not rushing to, again, got an awesome softball game tonight, regional softball game, but a lot of wrap up. But or not regional, the Big 12 tournament. Regionals are after that. So let's not fast forward, but let's not overlook anything. But you can, by the time fall starts, season 4 starts, you'll be caught up. So that being said, go to YouTube. You guys know how to get there. You see my name, Michael Caratanito, but search my page. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Yes, watch live, but do subscribe. And when you search the MVC005, put the MVC in all caps. For some reason that worked better, or put my full name in. When you see the Pitchfork Lunch emblem, you can subscribe to the YouTube page. And again, Forks Up. Very stoked you guys, again, like I said, that have subscribed and been watching. So again, greatly appreciated. What was I going to say? But yeah, so Randy Bennett again spoke today, and I'll bring you the scrum. But also today, like I said, softball. They are the nightcap in the regionals as at 5:30 local time, which is 7:30 in Oklahoma City is where they're at. So right now, we are in the midst of the UCF Kansas game, UCF 4 seed, Kansas 5 seed, and then that will be followed by number 1 Texas Tech, number 8 Baylor, supposed to get going. Well, actually, that game. So Kansas UCF is over. We should be in the Baylor. Yeah, we're in the Baylor or Texas Tech Baylor game now. And then Oklahoma State will take on number 7 Utah at 3:00 local time here. And then, like I said, the nightcap, the Territorial Cup, number 3, number 6, number 3. Yes, tip the cap, show them respect. Can't stand it, but Arizona taking on number 6 Arizona State. So then that is on ESPN Plus. And yeah, but again, talked about it yesterday, mentioned, went in depth. I mean, what this team has done, what they're doing, and looking to again move to that semifinal round. And yeah, so right now, let's see. So what do we have? Kansas held on to beat UCF, and UCF was a home team, so they had last at bat, but Kansas won 6. Kansas won 6-5 in that first game. And like I said, now we have, well, it went a little bit long, and it says at 12:35 our time, Baylor and Texas Tech. So they're just about to throw the first pitch. For obviously Texas Tech 50-5, Baylor 28-25, but again, 50 wins. Yeah, they spent over $4 million altogether on NIL, the support they got at Tech. So see what happens. But yeah, 50-5 overall for the Red Raiders, and taking on the Baylor Bears. They got a little Texas rivalry going there, a little Arizona rivalry later on. But then, yeah, Utah and Oklahoma State. First pitch. There we go. As It has happened. And then Utah and Oklahoma State. Again, Oklahoma State, number 15. I mean, you look at the ranked teams, obviously in this. Texas Tech, number 4 in the country. And then Oklahoma State's number 15. UCF is 22. Or Oklahoma State is 15. That team down south is 20. UCF is 22. And Forks Up Devils are 25. So, yeah, again, Big 12. Coach talked about it all year. Again, the challenge. And now, like I said, that school down south, it's very interesting. So, yeah, that's what they have. But Kansas advances, and they were 35-18 on the year to beating UCF, who, again, was number 22 in the country. So we'll see what that does maybe for them for an at-large. Who knows? But we shall see as it goes for regionals. I think they're going to say they're safe, but they're not hosting now. Definitely no chance there, I don't think. But, again, we shall see. So, yeah. Got a few more games to get through, but then, yes, tonight, ESPN Plus, 5:30. Check it out. Devils, Kitty Cats. Remember, it's one game. The 3-game series, the Devils took that first game and just absolutely bombarded the Wildcats 16-5 and just worked them. So, the second 2 games that Arizona won, yes, they did win, but were very, very close games. And like Coach says, yes, they ended up got that hit there, made that pitch there. But second and third game, that series definitely could have went their way. So we'll see. But again, stoked, Territorial Cup battle. Let's go Devils. Forks Up again. Coach Bartlett, obviously, this team, like I mentioned yesterday, got just honored, obviously, with all conference players, first team, second team, honorable mentions. So it's it's they're primed to do it. So, but hey, we're gonna step aside, and when we get back, we're gonna go right into it. You're gonna see my stand-up interview with EJ Rowland. Again, he coached for Coach Bennett, and he coached with him at St. Mary's, but played for him at St. Mary's. We get into all that on the side. We'll wrap it. I'll wrap it up, but we'll step aside real quick. And again, when we get back, Coach Rowland will be joining us here on wonderful Pitchfork Lunch. Coming right All right, guys, look at this back here on Pitchfork Lunch. It is an awesome day, obviously, in Ben's Hoops. We finally get to meet Coach Randy Bennett again. Like he said, he had a pump fake basketball terms, but this is not Randy Bennett. You know, this is one of his phenomenal former players and champion from overseas as well, too. EJ Rowland joining me here on Pitchfork Lunch. Coach, hey, thanks for taking the time. Your inaugural appearance here on Pitchfork Lunch. But man, obviously it's been a whirlwind. Okay, so you played for Coach Bennett,
Right.
and yes, you played professionally. But it's always interesting to me to ask players, like, when you play at a certain level and you're playing well, but like to get back into coaching when you were playing for Coach Bennett. I know it was just for those 2 years, but was he kind of the cog in you thinking, like, after I'm playing? I mean, probably one of the cogs, but like being in college, like that you wanted to get into coaching after whenever your playing career would be over for you.
I was actually late in deciding that I wanted to coach, but it was a no-brainer in regards to who I would try to learn from or try to be around, right? So I'm lucky enough to learn from a Hall of Fame coach that I have love for, that I trust, that I respect, who would allow me to learn, the opportunity to be myself while I navigate everything, while I learn. There's so many different dynamics to coaching that people don't realize. And so I couldn't think of anybody better to be around. And even the other guys on the staff, like our staff is very elite. The conversations we have every day, the knowledge that I'm receiving and downloading every day is just like, it's an opportunity that I don't take for granted.
Yeah, because when you play, I mean, obviously they always say, and I know you always hear people throughout, the beginning of basketball say, point guards, it makes sense, like become coaches, because yes, you want to be an extension of what your coach wants to run on the floor and understanding where guys are supposed to be and working in harmony. Right. But in your case, I mean, like you said, learning and being that, what was it like playing for him? I mean, okay, so what was it like playing for him? Kind of what's the difference in coaching for him now? Not that he's going to be, harder or like a different person, but what is the differences in playing and coaching with?
I think it's all perspective, but the same principles align. So coach is tough, especially on his point guards, but he's tough on his players, holding them accountable, expecting above and beyond. But also there's a standard in regards to what you're going to commit to the team, your effort, how you handle yourself, how you carry yourself. Those all are the same from the coaching perspective. It's just now how we apply it is different, right? But just what he expects in regards to us being there for our players. Thank you, nice to meet you. Being there for our players, preparing them, holding them accountable, caring for them. Like, it's all the same. It's just now you're the ones that's actually applying it instead of the ones receiving it, right? But he's been consistent in the 25 or whatever amount of years that I've known him. And it's special that he cares about this place so much, him being from here, but also the lens that he views ASU in regards to how they should be in regards to being good. And everybody on our staff is just with him on that,
Right, and you bring up a great point there, because okay, I'll see this one first. When you're talking about, obviously, learning from coaches and like who you want to work with and leading on coaches. Obviously, it was tough. He comes here, and then all of a sudden, he's not feeling good. But and part of the staff was here, and I mean, in talks with other staff. But to be able to lean on you guys and see what you did in recruiting, what was that like with him? Even like he was involved, but like he said, probably in a less stressful way. But you guys are in communication. But what was that like? Just kind of him leaning on you guys, and you guys just kind of hitting the recruiting, the transfer portal. I mean, recruiting trail. Just like you said, you got to sprint, but you guys crushed it.
I mean, if you think about it, that's another nod to him. The staff that he's hired are all people that have coached with him before, that know him, that knows how he thinks, that knows the kind of players he wants. And so our communication within each other is, there's no fractures. There's no wild ideals in regards to like outside of the box thinking. We all know the kind of players that we want. We know the culture that we want. We know the kind of people you want around this program. And so that's probably what made it a little easier, that he had guys that talk the same way, that speak with the same voice, whose message is the same, and are very experienced, right? So, like, I mean, Coach Croy and Coach Patrick both were head coaches and have been very successful in this business for a long time. Obviously, Joe Rayhan, over the last 5 years, first as a player and then the last 5 years as a coach, is successful. Coach Bennett, obviously being right next to Coach Bennett for that many years, he knows exactly how he thinks, the kind of players he wants, all that. So it's been very seamless. I would assume as seamless as possible.
Right. Okay. So you say that. I mentioned, obviously, I know you're recruiting, like your coach said, in the Big 12, recruiting. But how much of it do you think? And I asked Graham Rossini this too, but from an AD standpoint, and all games are big, but everybody knows Territorial Cup. Nobody here likes that school down south.
Right.
But the fact that obviously all the years he spent at St. Mary's, and Tommy Lloyd, obviously very successful, longtime assistant, knows he likes to recruit internationally. And I know they weren't always recruiting the same players internationally, but there were some battles there. How big do you think that is, especially for the fan base, knowing that, like, yes, you're recruiting against them, but everybody else, but, you kind of have a feel for what, and all respect to Tommy Lloyd, as you've seen what he's done down there. I mean, he's had success. He's a long-time assistant. Right. But to kind of know a little bit about what your rival might want to do, how for fans, how do you think that what message does that ring and send to them?
Yeah, you have to know. First, you have to have respect, but you also have to know your competition, right? And we're stepping into the Big 12, where it's not just them,
right?
It's many others. You're stepping to a level where you have to be prepared any given night. You can't look past people. One of the things he was saying, even in the West Coast Conference, is you don't win the championship by beating Gonzaga. You win the championship by winning all the games you're supposed to, right? And so we're going to be trying to win every game and put us in a position that when we do have that matchup, we give ourselves a chance, right? So very exciting. Obviously, there's history and there's a rivalry between the teams, but we have to do our part and make sure that we're good enough to make people care. And then once you start competing and start winning some of those games, it builds up into what we all ideally want it to be.
And then when you talk about that, obviously, so you coming back to Coach Bennett, but his dad, I mean, I covered the junior colleges here for years.
Really?
And his dad had stepped away, but it was pretty cool because I got to interview him one time. One of the coaches was like, hey, you might want to go talk to him.
Yeah.
And, man, just to, like, listen to him. But coming from that upbringing, because, I mean, again, the JUCO, I mean, now with, I get it, portal and NIL is different, but JUCO kind of always had a negative connotation, like, oh, they just couldn't get the grades. A lot of players didn't like their offers. They figure, hey, I can go there, I qualify, but 1 year here at a good program, see what I can do. But the fact that he has that upbringing, to me, it's not just about a chip on the shoulder, but how do you feel that helped him? I mean, obviously he played for his dad, his dad MCC for a little bit, moved on, but at the same time, like, how do you think that, like, that helps him having his dad around with that vast knowledge helps him, but, like, you guys as a staff just getting to pick his brain when he comes around?
No, I think a good coach is a good coach at any level, right? And so it's just another perspective and another perspective that he trusts, right? And so would Coach Randy Bennett be who he is without Coach Tom Bennett? I don't know. And so I would just say that's just an advantage that most people wouldn't know is there now, that he's probably super excited about, even if it's at dinner and they're just having conversations about the team or recruits or anything that he's thinking, or even talking them off a ledge or making a decision. Who knows how that'll come into play, but how can you not be excited for him for that? He's been away from his family chasing this profession, right? And so now for him being able to move back home and really go for it, it's not like you're taking a step back, you're taking a step forward and really go for it in your hometown, basically in front of people that you love and care about. What more could you want?
I was going to say, I don't know if I'll get the invite like you would, but I would love to just sit in the corner and actually be quiet for once at that dinner table and hear some basketball conversations. Okay, so the fun part now, I mean, obviously coming from St. Mary's to Tempe, I know some people were probably talking about it, but what's it going to be like adjusting to this Arizona heat? Now, you're in an indoor sport, which is good in the gym, but even just walking in and out, what are your thoughts about this Arizona heat?
Man, it's only the early May, and you can already tell, right? It's just different. And then from what I'm hearing, it's going to be air conditioned to air conditioned, and you'll learn how to navigate it just like anything. I mean, I grew up in California, but I had to play in Russia. I had to play in different places to where you find a way to deal with it. And the main thing will always be the main thing. You figure out the rest.
Okay, so speaking of figuring out the rest, like the fun spots, obviously in recruiting, when recruits come here, I mean, there's a ton of, obviously, I'm sure everybody gave you their food things, but have you kind of scouted out any food places that you like, your coaching staff has maybe tried? I figure you got a lot more to try. You guys have been a little busy recruiting, and sure. Sun Devil Nation, Pitchfork Lunch, we appreciate that. But what about like food wise? What have you thought so far in this limited time?
So I've been developing a list.
All right.
I'm the type that I'll research places and I'll start like hitting Google and looking at best restaurants. I'm always asking people to suggest things, send me their suggestions. So if you have any, let me know. I haven't had the time to really go anywhere yet. My family's still in the Bay Area. My son needs to finish kindergarten, and we're not fully settled. So I've just been going Airbnb to the office, Airbnb to the office. I don't even have a car out here yet. So all of that will come in time. But I've heard great things about, the restaurants, the atmosphere, and a lot of these in Tempe, but also the surrounding towns.
Right, exactly.
And so my family's actually really excited for the move and looking forward to what we can build on and off the court.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm originally from the East Coast, and I know people will say like, "Oh, but here." Suggestions, any type of food you like, any culturally food you like, you can find it here. And yes, there are some places that I'm not going to go run now on Pitchfork Lodge. We're not in the day, but there's some places that are probably get more recommended to you than others. I would say. Okay. What are some of your favorite foods though? What kind of food?
I'm open to anything. It's really the mood. So,
all right, there you go. I like that.
Yeah, not everything has to be fancy. I'm open to the mom and pop spots. I'm open to
the holes in the wall. Those are the gems.
Yeah. So any and everything, I'm with it.
All right, you heard it, Pitchfork Lunchers. You can send me things, and I'll again, people will tell Coach before we do, but I'll be around, obviously, so we'll do that. And then lastly, like you talk about that, like with your family, Coach, like you said, okay, your son's in kindergarten, so moving isn't, after he finishes kindergarten, isn't that big of a deal. But like you said, Coach chasing this profession. From playing in Europe, what's kind of been the, I always hate to use the word easiest, but what's been the smoothest part of like transition for you? Like you said, I know a little tough now. Your family will get out here when your son's done, but just in helping them with the transition, with all you've done, like what's the easiest part about that?
I mean, another big part of why I went to St. Mary's initially and now coming to ASU is Coach Bennett. So me, the head coach, being a source of consistency for me, right? Some people have to get into it however they have to get into it. Whereas I got to be selective and go back with my head coach that I already have a relationship, and he trusts me enough to give me these opportunities, right? And so, yes, we ended up moving, but there's still a framework of consistency there for me. For me, it's an interesting time just because I do have a young son, and we have another boy on the way that'll be born.
Congratulations.
So, so I'll have to navigate this transition while my wife is pregnant, and we'll give birth here shortly, knock on wood.
Nice.
So
I was gonna say, at least the season doesn't start till after. I know you got summer workouts, and it amps up, but at least the season doesn't start till late October.
Yeah, it's actually helped that it's happening now, and we don't have a lot of players around, and so I actually flew back in last night. It's like trying to find time to, if I can make a doctor appointment here, we haven't moved all our stuff yet, we haven't found a place, all this different stuff that we're having to navigate outside of filling a roster and setting things up. So it's an exciting challenge.
Right.
We're all looking forward to it. It won't be easy, but we're going for it.
And then, last thing I got to say to you, because as I recall, as I was looking up when you got hired, now when you're at St. Mary's, you led them to a point guard to a 25-9 record.
Yes.
Is that right? So if point guards, I asked you that, the lighter side, if point guards here, not that they're not going to be working hard and doing things, but if they're kind of getting a little lippy, you remind them that, they still haven't come close to you and like leading a team to wins, right?
Right. Yeah. Now that's
always a competition with boosters, right?
For sure. But the good thing is that if they look up our staff, there are people that they can respect in regards to things we've accomplished. But it's all about them and seeing how good they could be. I've had my fun with it. I was lucky enough to play 19 years as a pro and live in all these different places. So now it's like, how can we really lead and inspire and prepare and get these youngsters ready to maximize their own college careers and hopefully pro careers.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna let Coach go. We'll go down the rabbit hole of the obviously portal and NIL next time. But man, it's so awesome. Thanks for obviously making your debut here on Pitchfork Lunch, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
And like I said, I look forward to, like I said, getting to talk to the senior Bennett, obviously Tom Bennett, all those years ago, and like for Coach and you guys to be back here. So you said obviously it springs eternal. And then with what Molly Miller did last year, I know Coach talked about that over there. I mean, coming from that, the same conference and just her energy. I kind of feel. Let me ask you that. I know this is a message with the coaches, but just when obviously winning, I know breeds success. But when you just see like coaches bought in and student athletes going out, I'm sure Grant mentioned that to you guys, like to other sports, in their off season, supporting, being out.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know it's very big. But like when you're coming into that electricity with what success, I mean, obviously softball's in regional state, then women's tennis is hosted. Obviously, Coach Van Neal in women's volleyball. I mean, 2 years in the Big 12, 2 Big 12 regular season championships. Like, but just in general, like when you're coming in and it is electric like that. You might not know everything, but it's electric like that.
Yeah.
What does that do just for a coaching staff in general, knowing that? Because, you know, Coach Miller says it all the time. And I mean, Coach Powers, obviously hockey too, said only coaches know what coaches go through. But just to have that genuine support and electricity, what's that like for a coaching staff coming in?
No, honestly, I've been pleasantly surprised just because you come from a school that's, I don't want to say it's easier to do it at a small school like St. Mary's, because it's not easy to have a whole bunch of a community of people that care, right, about each other. Whereas coming to a school as large as Arizona State, and I mean, the foundation, everybody's responsibility is to win. First and foremost, it's not necessarily to support others. I've been pleasantly surprised in regards to the support, positive energy, and just like willingness to help that we've received since I've been here. And I know that coach and the other staff members feel the same way.
That's awesome. All right, now we'll let him go because, again, he's got a lot to do. He took some time here. But, Coach, obviously, yes, thanks for the time. And I look forward to, I know, like you said, have the baby, make sure the wife's okay, because we know happy wife, happy life.
For sure.
Everybody knows that. But obviously, congratulations on the second coming. So we'll step aside, kind of wrap more about what Coach said. And, again, yes, I mean, there's truly never an off season in any sport, but coaches are here. Men's hoops back. We're here in Weather Up Center, the practice gym. So we'll step aside, have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
Excellent.
Man, how awesome was that? Coach E.J. Rowland. And you heard him there again, knowing Coach Bennett, playing for him. And like you said, when he came back, there was, one coach, obviously getting into the college game, having played at the level he did. And again, family, congratulations to him and his wife, obviously welcoming their second child, a son. So forks up to Coach Rowland, man. Thanks. So gracious of him to make his Pitchfork Lunch debut as we're out at the presser. So that was from earlier this morning. Yeah, it was bright and early, kids. Get on out there. And again, Coach Bennett, like you said, he was here. And we're going to hear from him now. But yeah, really stoked to see, like Coach Rowland said, I mean, working with the guards, and Bryce Ford is one of the players that stayed. I mean, when you look at the men's, I mean, granted, there's guys that, yes, I mean, they've signed, they're committed, but you look at the men's basketball roster for 26 and 27, you have Bryce Ford and VJ Wallace, who's also back from last year, banged up. Unfortunately, sat out with injury, but of the players that came in, or the players that were here when Coach Bennett again got here. He was able to talk to him. We'll hear about that more probably Monday. I'll play like again. It's not so funny, but I do want you to hear from Coach Bennett now. But yeah, like Coach Rowland said, I mean, just working with somebody that that's built up a program, that's been able to when you play for, and again, point guards, like I said to him, being an extension of a point guard being an extension of the offense or the coach, what they want to run, and getting on that same page, and you feel and understanding. Yes, it takes a minute to build chemistry with teams. We get it, but point guards as a coach, he worked with Coach Bennett. He said Coach Bennett gets to come home, so that is absolutely awesome. So let's hear from the man himself. We'll do a little bit of bonus here on Pitchfork Lunch, but let's hear from Randy Bennett on his introductory presser while he talked with the media. Yes, he saw up at the podium, but then in a more intimate scrum, as they like to say. So here's Randy Bennett from this morning.
Introducing myself as Aya Abdi for Echoes from the Buttes. So when it comes to joining Arizona State athletics program, which they brought in notable coaches like Kenny Dillingham for football, Molly Miller as women's basketball, and Jamia Jackson as women's tennis, and now adding in yourself to the mix for men's basketball as well, especially after having that past successful 5 years at St. Mary's. I'm just curious to know, what were your first impressions of Graham Rossini as athletic director, and why you chose to join the program as well?
Yeah, two things jump right to the front of my mind on Graham. Is the guy's remarkably gifted as a speaker. I think he's got an incredible memory. He'll remember every event, every person's name, and then the way he leads his athletic program is very team oriented, and it's the same way he wants his sports teams. So I think he's pretty true to his philosophy on that, and actually I think that's why he was looked my way as far as this job.
You were thrown a pretty big curveball after you got this job.
The pump fake?
The pump fake. Did you consider, could you go on? Did you consider retirement at all?
No, not at all. They caught it early. It actually is a blessing they caught it. So I feel a lot better. I was a little weak for just in the hospital for 10 days. So you get weak, and so there's a little comeback and a little confidence and what you can do. But I knew we were good.
How hard was that, just to be sidelined like that when you wanted to get this program?
Hard. So it was because you just got this job. You want to get going. You want to start building, and you feel like sense of urgency. You need to be in the office, but it just wasn't going to happen. So it's tough.
Coach, what are the biggest differences you've seen since when you were seeing ASU growing up and now being back here?
Probably the campus. We knocked out all those dorms and put in a great little food restaurant places and the hotels. None of that was there. So Dr. Crow's done a fantastic job. I meant that when I said it up there, and he must have a good mind for all that stuff. But I mean, ASU is such a huge part of the Phoenix metropolitan area, but it's also still a college campus. It has the feeling of a college campus, yet it's just massive. It's powerful.
What does the size of that brand do for your recruiting? Just knowing it's such an internationally known school.
So far, it feels good. I can feel it already. I felt it right away. I didn't really know that I was going to feel that when I got here. I just knew. I thought this place had potential, and I've always felt that way. But you could get in the door pretty quick here, and I'm not used to that. So where I was at wasn't that. It was a small school, different deal, not part of the Power Four, all that. And I have no regrets. I loved where I was at. I loved the St. Mary's whole deal. But this place is different. This place has some juice.
Coach, to piggyback off the recruiting, I just asked Graham. I mean, obviously all your years at St. Mary's, and then Tommy Lloyd working under Mark for you. I know recruiting internationally was always big for you and big for them. What part of the maybe conversation was extra about, maybe knowing, not that you're always going to recruit the same players, but just kind of going and recruiting against Tommy Lloyd now, still obviously in state and in the Big 12, but just knowing him and like what he likes to recruit. How big was that when you're talking to Graham?
When I talked to Graham,
yeah.
It wasn't discussed. I know Tommy, he's up at Gonzaga about 20 years, so he's done a phenomenal job at Arizona, and will continue to do so. And so it's kind of like when we jumped in the league with Gonzaga, as at St. Mary's, they're not coming down. You got to go up. And people, when they make the mistake of, hey, they're losing this guy and this guy, they'll be down. They're not down. And that's where we need to get to. Is the program's big enough, stable enough, built enough that you just keep bringing in new guys and keep getting them right and keep coaching them up.
Coach, you've been around the game of basketball your whole life. In what ways has the game enriched your life beyond just wins and losses?
That's a great question. A couple that jump out at me. All the people you meet, you're around, you have special relationships with, because you're coaching. There's not the only ones. There's other coaches. There's your assistant coaches, and those are lifelong friendships. But with your players, they're lifelong friendships, and you get a chance to. And I've seen this now. I've done it long enough. Is you get to see them grow into young men, dads, eventually coaches or whatever they do, and you see them have success, and you feel like you were a part of it.
Coach, you guys are still in the process of finalizing your schedule for the season. How's that been going so far, and what are the things you're looking for in terms of potential opponents or tournaments to play in?
Not far enough along to really answer that. I would say that get 14 non-conference games. Obviously, the 18 conference games are set. They haven't told us who or where or when, but you're going to play 18 league games. And there's 14 non-conference. I would say we have 8 of them done. So, and yeah, I know we're playing Oklahoma and Tulsa. That'll be a tough game. We're in the Palm Springs tournament, 2 games, and we don't know who we're playing yet, but we'll be in that. UCLA is on the schedule. We're at Oregon State. So we need to have a good schedule, always. I think it's a huge part. I think it goes coaching, recruiting, scheduling. It's a huge part. You can schedule yourself right out of the tournament, especially in the Big 12. You're going to get plenty of good games in the Big 12. So we have to be pretty strategic and smart on filling out the rest of the schedule.
Coach Mickey McConnell, another Arizona guy, took over for you at St. Mary's. What has that family meant to you, and what do you think Mickey can do at St. Mary's?
Mickey will do a great job. He's well prepared. He's seen it. He's been a huge part of what we've been doing. He's a great player there. I think we left the program where it's in good shape on NIL and support. They want to be good there, so he's gonna be good. He'll be fine. And then I've known his dad way before Mickey was born. So his dad was an assistant at Westwood, JV coach, and so I've known him a long time. And the McConnell family, the grandpa, Mickey's 3rd generation as a coach. His grandpa's a legend. His dad's a legend over here. So they're friends. It meant a lot.
Coach, you talked a little bit about the changing landscape of college athletics. In your early conversations with Graham and President Crow, what type of commitment were you looking for from the athletic department to providing you with resources to build a coaching staff for the roster?
Yeah, great question, because it was an important one. And I talked to both them. Obviously, Graham, met with Graham, talked to him a number of times. And then Dr. Crow, I talked to him one time on the phone before I came over here, took the job. And so there was no, it's a good question. I just had to feel it from them that they got it. They understood that you have to have some money. Like if you want to, the best way to do it is if you can retain players. And that's the way we'll do it. But you have to have money for that. And if you go in the portal all the time, I don't know if it's twice as much, but it's probably a time and a half. Like portal, they have agents, and they're in the portal for a reason, and it's usually to get money. And so I just needed to know that they understood it. And I think with Graham, my deal was, I don't know what I'm getting into. Like I haven't been to issue. I don't know how it works. I don't know where all the players are, at mentally. And so our deal, handshake, was, I'm gonna need your help. So you just got it. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm gonna need your help. And he is like,
Coach.
I'm gonna help.
And you said,
sorry. So a few weeks ago, before the introductory presser was delayed, you met Molly Miller, the head coach of the Arizona State women's basketball program. I'm just curious to know your first impressions of meeting Molly Miller in person.
So I knew about Molly. A good friend of mine coaches women's basketball, and he's friends with her, and Mark Campbell from TCU. And so I knew she was, I knew her Division II thing, the whole thing. So I knew she was kind of elite, up and comer, and had she was a Grand Canyon. I knew all of that stuff back then. And so then when I met her, I was most impressed with her energy. She's got great energy. And she was one of them that, here that made me feel really welcome right off the bat. I said, this is pretty cool.
And you mentioned obviously the success, that your dad had, the success your dad had at MCC.
Yeah.
And covered JUCO for years. So just knowing about it, but you said he'd be your volunteer assistant. How much do you expect to have him out at practice?
I hope we can get him out to practice once a week. Once a week would be cool. And I think he's excited about having a team to follow, and he's been hitting me with a zillion questions about who we're recruiting, how's it going. So anyhow, he's great. He's into it. And I'm glad he's got something to be excited about.
Randy, you mentioned keeping Arizona players in Arizona. What's the blueprint to do that here at ASU?
Great question. Recruit them. Go see them. You got to. Why wouldn't you stay? That's my argument. Why wouldn't you stay here? Play. We have resources here. This place. You be playing in front of your family and friends. No reason to leave. We just have to get good enough that they feel like they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. Once that happens, and we're able to keep some of the best ones, that's how we get good. Gotta get good for yourself.
Talking about retainment, with the 5-5 rule set to be, or people are talking about it with players having an extra year of eligibility, has that changed your recruiting process at all, or some of the guys you brought in, or?
The 5-for-5 has not changed anything we've done yet. We're all still figuring it out, but I'm pretty sure it's going in, and pretty sure how it's going to work as far as this year's seniors won't won't be eligible for it. But after that, moving forward, they all get a fifth year. So I think so we recruited a couple of guys that will be seniors next year. Now all of a sudden they're juniors. Like they have 2 years. So I'm excited about it because I think it's easier to get good if you can retain players. So those older guys get an extra year, and then in your program it helps. But it's interesting how it works. I think it's a good thing. I think there won't be as many 24, 25-year-olds. A big reason they're doing it is so they don't have to deal with these waivers all the time. NCAA. So you get 5 years, play 5 years. If you redshirt a year, it counts as 1 year 5. So makes it more simple.
You guys good? We've got some.
Love it, Coach Randy Bennett. And again, Pitchfork Lunches, I've said it as a wrap up real quick. Coach Hurley, again, when he was here, and like I said, the staff you build, can you retain a staff? You heard Coach in the beginning when I played it, Coach Bennett talking about introducing his assistants, but getting them, even a bigger head coaching jobs. And you want to retain your staff, but if you start doing good enough, a la like he did at St. Mary's, when teams are high looking for coaches, if they can't get the head coach, they are going to check assistant coaches or go after, I should say, check out, but go after assistant coaches, as Pitchfork Lunchers. So awesome staff he's built. Love it right there. Again, had to ask him how much Dad's going to come out to practice, and he said once a week. But it's absolutely awesome. So great day. Again, we'll hear more from that. I caught up with Bryce Ford too. Again, he was a little, banged up, but he's coming through some. He'll go through rehab, and we'll see. He'll tell you when he, can get back on the court. But he's got the summer. And like I said, it's pretty interesting because him and VJ Wallace, even though when you look at the Sun Devil men's basketball Twitter account, a lot of these guys can't enroll yet, but will be enrolled through. Sure, actually, I gotta think they could enroll, but anyway, they're getting all that sorted. But with Coach Bennett, you have Joe Rahan, who played for him, Rick Corey, and he said David Patrick, and then as you guys saw, we got to talk to EJ Rowland, who also played for him 19 years, like he said, 20 years in Europe, won some championships, was an MVP. Again, all that good stuff. So we'll get more into it, obviously. And like you said, Coach was he thanked the Mayo Clinic when he came up there, but we'll hear from again more of that as next week goes on. Guys, tomorrow, do not forget, it is all golf here tomorrow. Women's golf, Missy Farquet allowing Pitchfork Lunch to hit the road and go out to practice, and we are going to talk to all 7 other players. No, not at once, because it would look not aesthetically good. Plus, it'd be really tough. But we're going to talk to all 7. And some award winners. And again, it's an international team, another international team. And she has done a phenomenal job just recruiting, yes, here locally, but still, and within the US, but all over the world too. So all golf tomorrow, as I'll be sitting down again, like I said, with the team. So again, very, 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 very stoked about that. But again, forks up again, obviously too. EJ Rowland for taking the time out at the introductory presser to make his Pitchfork Lunch debut. I look forward to catching up with him more, and obviously after, again, congratulations to him and his wife having their second son here shortly. First son's got to finish up kindergarten, so he'll finish that up and then be out here. But yeah, just the craziness again. That's one thing as a coach. He played in Europe and Australia, 4 continents, right? He played in North America. I can tell you. Yeah, he played in 4 different continents: North America, here, Australia, Europe, and Asia. So yes, moving around. And again, once you, you're playing, but you have a wife, and then you have, one kid and another one on the way. So yeah, but forks up to Coach Rowland, man. Thank you for, again, he took the time there at Coach Bennett's opening presser at Weather Up. Again, absolutely awesome. So we will catch up. But tomorrow, like I said, all golf. Again, women's softball. Guys, do not forget. Women's softball tonight, 5:30, the Big 12 tournament. I said region. I keep saying regionals, but it's the Big 12 tournament. Number 25 ASU has a territorial cup battle with number 20. And again, like they say, respect them. I will say Arizona. But yes, you guys know my feelings about that team down south. So that is at 5:30 ESPN Plus. Again, check it out. Baseball. Again, we'll get to that tomorrow. And tentatively, we'll be talking to Kyle Dodd, Sun Devil Hoops analyst, about this, and Jamia Jackson of women's tennis. So we're gonna see. Oh no, wait. Oh, tomorrow is Friday, so it's all golf. Never mind. Monday we might have Kyle Dodd. I gotta. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, yeah, I just said it's all golf, and it will be all golf for the whole hour tomorrow. So again, just getting it jumbled, but nonetheless, and we also will hear from women's tennis coach Jamia Jackson in the very, very near future as well. So that's going to do it for Thursday. Hope we will hopefully definitely quench that Sun Devil men's hoops thirst as we got to talk to Coach Bennett, as you heard Coach Bennett speak. And all that, again, the opening presser, everything like that. So men's hoops, again, like I said, softball, baseball this weekend, huge series against Oklahoma State. So, again, forks up to Coach Rowland. Want to thank him again. And obviously Connor Smith for helping hook that up as well. But, yes, thanks for reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. It is hashtag our state, team down south. You will be reminded of that today. Forks up, nothing but belief and faith in this awesome, just gritty softball team that Megan Bartlett has. And yeah, the bats are hot at the right time. And the bats have been everybody's bats getting there. There's been a lot of consistent bats throughout the year, obviously, very consistent. But this offense, again, and with the pitching, I mean, led by Kenzie Brown. Yeah, absolutely. So it is hashtag our state. Just remember that, team down south. And I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great rest of your Thursday. And yes, women's golf tomorrow. I'll put stuff out, but you're going to want to be here because there's a Big 12 Player of the Year and multiple Masters visits, Augusta. So yeah, all awesome. Have a great rest of your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, you guys know it. As always, forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt switches to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Chuck this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. It's still going back. The drag walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
doesn't matter.